Well, hello, hello, hello. It's me, Dr. Cheryl. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to talk to you today from the heart about what drives me crazy about couples. And that may surprise you to hear. I don't mean it to sound negative. If you don't know me, I'm Dr. Cheryl Fraser. I'm a psychologist and a sex therapist, a Fulbright award-winning PhD. I received over $100,000 of scholarships for my work in sexuality through my 13 years of university. And I'm a podcast host of Sex, Love, and Elephants. I'm an author of the published book, Buddha's Bedroom. I'm a columnist. I get quoted in the New York Times, everything from Cosmopolitan to the New York Times and the Today Show website and other places. But mostly I'm someone who loves to help couples. Again, a psychologist and sex therapist. And the way I help couples now is with a program that's very near and dear to my heart. It's a 3-month program. It's called the Become Passion program. And I'm kicking it off for the last time in over a year, in a couple of weeks in mid-October here, 2024. But that may or may not be of interest to you. But what I believe is of interest to you, or you wouldn't be watching or subscribe to this page, is you care about your relationship. You'd like to know how to be stronger, more in love, more happy, maybe have a better sensual life, learn how to argue productively, which is a thing. You can learn how to fight fair. It's really difficult. My hubby and I have been together 11 years and we still have to work on this. We still fail sometimes, get up, dust ourselves off and begin again because we know the work I teach. So this year, starting, next week, just in just a few days, from October 1st to 5th, next Tuesday through Saturday, I'm teaching my free couples workshop online. Did I mention it is free? This is about an hour, hour and a half of teaching where I'm going to take a deep dive into what I call the 3 keys to passion or the 3 keys to great relationship. Join the class. Pick the time that works for you. I teach it live each of the 4 different times. We'll send you a little workbook a day or so before with a few questions about what's working and not working in your relationship. These are private. These are for you and your partner to answer. You won't be sharing anything. You're not even on camera. In this workshop, I'm the only one on camera. It's private and confidential. I'll teach for around an hour, sometimes longer, and then I'll talk to you a bit about my 3-month program because probably about 1% of you will choose to join me on what is literally a life-changing journey to renovate your own relationship. It's hard work. I'm there with you. I teach you every step of the way, and there's a pre-recorded curriculum. But what I really want to talk about today is what drives me crazy about couples. I dedicate my life to helping couples. I love helping couples, and I care deeply about the possibility of long-term love that works. I care deeply about how to create love that lasts a lifetime. Notice I use the word create. We sit around. What drives me crazy is people sit around expecting their spouse to make them happy. And you don't do that because you're a spoiled, silly person or naive. You do it subconsciously, really. We believe, excuse me, getting over COVID, we believe that it is our couple's job to make us happy. I don't think we believe it in our head. I think as you hear that, you can hear how silly that is and how self-centered and how unfair. But we have a sense that if this was the right person, super dangerous, drives me crazy about couples. The idea that there's an actual soulmate. Oh my goodness, kill the soulmate and save your relationship. We tend to have a subconscious program that says, if I was with the right person who you may have been with for 5 years or 35 years or more, then we'd be doing better. If I was with the right person, we'd find communication easier. We wouldn't fight and bicker and be so disconnected and miserable all the time. If I was with the right person, we'd still feel passionate about each other. We'd still feel sexually drawn to each other. If I was with the right person, I'd still feel like I was in love with them instead of feeling like I'm living with a slightly grumpy roommate and we're great parents and we pay the bills and we even go on the odd vacation. That's kind of fun, but I long for more in some ways. What drives me crazy about couples is that they don't, it's going to be a little tough love here. They don't do what it takes to improve their relationship. Now, let me put the love in front of the tough. Here's some love tough. Hey, yeah, I like that. I might use that again. Here's some love tough. The reason couples don't work on their relationship is not that they don't care. It's not that they don't love their partner. It's not that they don't realize that there are some difficulties from huge to small but problematic in your relationship. It's that you don't know what to do. You don't know what to work on. Holy smokes. You're trying to talk about the lack of sex and you end up in a big argument that brings in everything, including the alleged kitchen sink and the past hurts and maybe stuff from your previous relationship or your childhood that you didn't even know was sitting in a little backpack over your shoulder, waiting to hijack the conversation you're trying to have with your sweetheart. What drives me crazy about couples is that they give up. But again, they don't give up because they don't care. They give up because they don't know what to do. And navigating long term love is a really hard gig. I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe in long term love. I've helped many couples create a much stronger, more passionate, more connected, and more loving relationship. It's a thing. It is possible. It's also really difficult work. I am a champion of long-term love. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm also a super realist and a really well-trained clinician. The divorce statistics are dreadful. The divorce statistics on second marriages are worse than the first. We're in a culture that tends to subconsciously train us that we should be happier, our partner should work harder, it should be easier. We're with the wrong person if we don't have the lust and the passion we had in the beginning. We're with the wrong person if we fight about the kids in the same way and get nowhere. You're not necessarily with the wrong person, but you need tools. You need understanding. How can you attack anything that needs solving if you don't have understanding? Right now, we have it's a small thing, but in our house, we have when you go out the door, there's an automatic light switch that's programmable. And we have some steep stairs down to our house, and we live in the country, so it's really dark. So it's a programmable thing that we can set it, an automatic light goes on in the evening when it's dark in the winter. And if we get home at 9 or 10 at night, our stairs will be lit. Well, it stopped working a few months ago, and we haven't got around to fixing it. We haven't got around to bringing in an electrician. We haven't learned what it takes. My hubby's a pretty handy guy, so he's probably going to do it himself, but he needs to go watch some videos, pull up a manual online and learn how do you replace this programmable light switch thing. What's the point I'm making? The point is you need the knowledge of how to start to begin to fix the issue you're having. That's what this free class is all about. Did I mention free? Listen, the internet is inundated with people with an opinion who are offering to help you, usually for money. Some of them are legitimate. Some of them are bona fide, excellent in their field. A chef who's going to teach you how to create an incredible meal plan for your family, an athlete who's going to show you how to break down a fitness program so you can train for your first 5K run. There's some wonderful experts offering their services on the internet. And then there's a lot of people who aren't experts at all. I am very good at what I do. I don't need you to believe that. I have no skin in that game, but I want to reassure you, this is a very deep, meaningful workshop. It's not a bunch of platitudes. It's not a tease. It's not where I say, there are 3 important things you need to work on. Buy my course and I'll tell them to you. I'm going to teach you in depth about the 3 keys to a great relationship, the stuff you don't know. The stuff that drives me crazy about couples is they don't do anything because they don't know what to do. I'm going to talk about what I call intimacy, thrill, and sensuality. I just sketched a triangle because the model I've developed is a triangle. These are 3 keys to a great relationship. Intimacy is about communication, conflict resolution, knowing your partner's hopes and dreams, having their back, being their champion. It's very much also learning about how to fight fair, how to avoid the 4 arguing behaviors that do predict divorce with a reasonable amount of accuracy, how to apologize like a mofo, how to be a more loving and kind and better partner. Because frankly, a lot of us are pretty bickery, pretty critical. Even if we really love our person, we may not be treating them with the kind of kindness and respect that we did in the beginning when we were dating, or how we treat strangers or friends or people we work with. The second key I'll be talking about on the free masterclass, there are 4 different days and times next week: Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, Thursday evening, and Saturday morning Pacific time. If you click below, you can go to the registration page. There's a drop-down menu. Choose the time that works for you and your sweetheart. As I said, we're going to send you a little workbook beforehand. And on the call, live, I'll be giving away some prizes. That's a lot of fun, some sexy and romantic prizes. And I'll also get you to participate in some anonymous polls. Again, you're not on camera. It's completely anonymous. And I'll do some polls where I'll ask you, how are you doing with fighting? Do you have ugly fighting? How are you at apologizing? It's an interactive workshop. Bring your partner, show up, and you'll leave the workshop. And again, it's a free workshop. You will leave the workshop with a language. you'll understand these three keys to great relationship. I've mentioned two of them very briefly: intimacy, communication, conflict resolution. The second one I call thrill is what we miss about falling in love: the dating, the kindness, the planning special events, celebrating special occasions with some romance and some fun, making the effort. So many couples, what drives me crazy about couples is we get very lazy and complacent. We don't date our mate anymore. And the third area I'll be talking about on the workshops is sensuality, everything in your erotic life. And let me tell you right now, 30 to 40% of longer term couples who've been together more than a couple of years aren't making love at all. That's a very sad thing. And I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the reasons for loss of desire and attraction, why it's so much easier in the beginning, why it gets so much more difficult as we grow together after a couple of years. So what drives me crazy about couples is the amount of pain, the amount of people settling for a mediocre relationship, the amount of people that are sad and lonely and feel like it's their partner's job to fix them. It's the job of the two of you, but you need the tools, you need the support, you need the guidance. So come to the workshop and I'll give you a model you can walk away with and start making some small changes right away. And I mean that absolutely transparently. This isn't a big hyperbole. I will fix everything in one workshop. Hell no. But I'll give you a solid science-based model. More than 600 couples have worked with me in my 3-month program. I'll talk about the 3-month program for about 10 minutes in our free class next week as well, because about 1% of you will probably choose to join me on what is a profound, life-changing and difficult and challenging and deep and real program, which is my 12-week program. But for now, click below. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Invest an hour or more of your time in your relationship. And if you click below and choose the time that works for you, I teach it live each time. This is not pre-recorded. I stick around at the end for an extensive Q&A. You can type your private question to me in the chat box and I will answer it and coach you as best I can. It's a wonderful time. It's my favorite time of the year. It sounds like a Christmas carol. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, it is for me. In the next 10 days, I get to meet 1,000 of you, 2,000 of you, 3,000 of you over these 4 classes, help you, coach you, give you hope, give you a model that can work, and invite a small proportion of you to join me on a much longer and more deep journey. So for now, don't give up on love. We only ever have 3 options. One is to stay the way it is, often okay, but not great, or less than okay, or really miserable. The other is to leave through an affair, through a divorce, breakup, separation, etc. And then you'll end up with some of the same issues next time around, probably not all of them, different variation of them. And you'll still probably need to learn a legitimate and worthwhile science-based model for your next relationship. So the 3 options we ever have is to stay the way it is, to break up, or to stay and change it. And because you're not a masochist, if we stay and change it, we want to change it for the better. We want to improve our communication. We want to feel happier when our sweetheart gets home, more lit up, more connected. We want to feel that trust and depth that our partner has our back and is our greatest fan, even if we have our real life issues like my husband and I do as well. So I hope to meet you next week, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Thursday night, or Saturday morning, Pacific time. I will be there. Will you be there? Click where you're watching this. We're right away going to add the link below this in the comments for you to join one of the free master classes. And if it's not there yet, because some of you are watching this live right now, hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you, Cecilia. Nice to see you, Lori. Click to one of the posts below where you're watching this, and there will be a link to join the free masterclass. Can't wait to see you there. If you have a question, oh, you're from Missouri. Wow, I've never been to Missouri. If you have a question you'd like me to answer on one of these Facebook Lives, put it below in the chat box. I'm going to be hopping on most days in the next week or two, and happy to answer a question. And if you're not able to see it live, you'll be able to watch the little recording here on the Facebook page and get my answer to your question. For now, make love intentional. It's not an accident. Join me for a free workshop next week. I'm a real person. I'm not a robot. I write all of my own emails. I write all of my own scripts. You get me, unadulterated me. I was just on Jack Canfield's podcast. You can go listen to it if you want. Last week, Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup for the Soul, who has multi-million followers. I'm good at what I do, and I really look forward to sharing it with you. Thanks for being here, and bye for now.